Resolve editing time skilled test. Open Resolve. Create a new folder for your project. Create a new project named yourself. Import video and audio into the project. Go to the Media tab. Create a timeline using the imported video. Manually sync the audio and video in your timeline. I mute the second track. I'm looking for the claps. I see them about there. I use my right arrow key, stepping. When I hear it, I step back one, and I cut it, Command B, and delete that part, and I can move this. Just move this one right to the beginning. Now I'm going to mute this one. Unmute this one. I'm looking here at the claps. I can see it. I hear it. I go back one. Command B. I cut it. And now I move this into place. Now I play them together to see if they are in sync. They are in sync. I'm going to delete this file. Make sure they're not linked. If they're linked, it won't allow you to do this. And then I'm just going to simply move that into place. I have the proper file. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to create another timeline. New timeline. We'll call it timeline 2. Why not? And this time I'm going to use the auto feature to do this. I'm going to select all of them, right click, auto align clips by waveform, sync. And I can play it and see if it worked. Oh, let me mark this. Again, I'm going to remove this one. Remember, they're not linked. And simply move this one into place. There we go. Next part of the test, we're going to move to white balance. We want to crop into something white. The wall is white. So I get my crop tool. And I just crop in to this white wall. Then I'm going to move to my color space where I've set up my curves. And I'm going to start with my waveform scope. Oh, no, excuse me. I'm going to start with my parade. And I want to get the red, green, and blue the same. So for red, I'm going to bring it down a little bit to the green. And for the blue, I'm going to bring it up by going across the top just a little bit to bring it up there so that they are now white balanced. I'm going to go back to the color page. I'm going to get rid of my crop in the inspector. Cropping, undo the crop. And now I'm going to go back to the color page. I'm going to change to the waveform. And I want to make sure I'm on the Y axis. And this brings down the color this way. We can bring that top down a little bit so they're overexposed outside the window. Now I'm going to go back to the edit page, and this time I'm going to crop in to her face or to some part of her skin. I'm going to make it a little bigger so that I can see it better. All right, go back to the color page. This time we're going to use the vector scope. Make sure the vector scope is showing the skin tone indicator here. You might go 2x zoom to make it a little bigger to see. And I can see that basically, in this case, she's on the line. If she's not, though, we use this hue versus hue. We get the qualifying dropper and get a drop there. And this is our node we want to change. You can change it by moving these numbers. You just click on it with your mouse and move left or right to adjust it. No, not much adjustment is needed in this case. Now we're going to go back to our color page, undo the crop again. This time we're going to go to the color page and do it in the automatic way. So I'm going to select my color wheels and find this dropper, which I'm going to drop onto something I believe is white. Of course, it doesn't change much because we already changed it, but that's how you do it in the automatic way. Moving on now to the audio adjustment. We move to Fairlight, Workspace. Now we're going to add EQ. We're going to play this.
Livres dans notre bibliothèque très
You
bien
have to
fournis.
slide
Et puis là,
down to
d'ailleurs,
find
les
EQ.
livres de tout le monde normalement, les livres de tous les professeurs en tout
Make
cas
sure
qui
it's
sont
turned
ici.
on.
Si nous avons la série
This
des
band I
livres
automatically
de
put on. It
référence,
cuts
les
the low end, which
dictionnaires,
we don't
les
hear.
latins français,
This band I put on as
même
well. We don't really
romaniche,
hear the high end.
étymologique,
This band
italien,
is important.
italien, anglais.
We're going to
Nous
change
avons
it,
d'ailleurs des
change the filter
spécialistes de
to
la
this one.
traduction dans notre département, entre autres professeur Way qui utilise
Listen for anything we don't like. Then I'm going to narrow the Q factor and bring this down. -4 should be fine.
Personnellement, j'ai travaillé sur Derrida.
Number 3, do the same thing. You have to go back to the beginning.
Je m'appelle Servano Edward et je viens juste de trouver ce livre dans notre bibliothèque très bien fournie et qui a d'ailleurs les livres de tout le monde,
the Q factor,
de tous les professeurs en
bring
tout
it
cas qui
down.
sont ici. Si nous avons la série des livres de référence, les dictionnaires, les latins français, je vois même romaniche, étymologique, italien, anglais.
Number 5
Nous
again,
avons
change the
d'ailleurs des
filter.
spécialistes de la traduction dans notre département, entre autres professeur Way qui utilise
Narrow the Q factor.
Qui a
Bring it down to -4 or
les
5,
œuvres de Derrida
and EQ is done.
chinois, ce qui est assez compliqué.
Now we're going to add the dynamic.
Sur Derrida, mais...
Here we're going to turn on the expander.
Je m'appelle Servano Edward.
And look for this to be hovering around -6.
Ce livre dans notre bibliothèque très bien fourni et qui a d'ailleurs les livres de tout le monde normalement, les livres de tous les professeurs en tout cas qui sont ici. Si nous avons la série des livres de référence, les dictionnaires, les latins français, je vois même romaniche, étymologique, italien, anglais. Nous avons d'ailleurs des spécialistes de la traduction dans notre département, entre autres professeur Way qui utilise, qui a choisi les œuvres de Derrida à traduire en chinois, ce qui est assez compliqué.
-12 or -6
Personnellement, j'ai travaillé sur Derrida, mais...
And that's done. Finally, we're going to... You won't have voice slices in these. We're going to add an effect.
Je viens juste de trouver ce livre dans notre bibliothèque très bien fourni et qui a d'ailleurs les livres de tout le monde normalement, les livres de tous les professeurs en tout cas qui sont ici. Si nous avons la série des livres de référence, les dictionnaires, les latins français, romaniche, étymologique, italien, anglais. Nous avons d'ailleurs des spécialistes de la traduction dans notre département, entre autres professeur Wei qui utilise...
Now we're going to go back, stop it. We're going to go back to the color page and we're going to add keyframes. So we select the volume and up here in the volume we see this little diamond that adds a keyframe. Now we're going to move it out. We're going to add another keyframe and we're going to bring the volume down on that keyframe, creating a fade out. Now we want to add a title. On the titles, make sure you have this icon clicked. Under the toolbox, select titles. We can just select a basic text, place it on top of the timeline, and select the text. And then here you can type, title. You can choose Arial. And we can add we can add a drop shadow. We can make the shadow we can add a stroke or rock shadow around it. Okay, now we're going to go to export our film. We go to delivery. We're going to mark the in and out points on the film where we want. I for in, O for out on the keyboard. We're going to deliver it for YouTube. There's a preset for YouTube. You can grab YouTube. We're going to name it. We need to find a location as to where you want to put it. That will be fine. You choose the resolution that you want to do it at. For YouTube, this would be it. You want to normalize the audio. Add to the render queue. And finally of all, render all. And you don't have to do that part. You're done.